Hi, everyone. Welcome to Volume 14 of the Blastout. I am so excited because I have my good friend, Andrea Trestrail. She is coming on to talk all things firemanship and what to expect for the spouses tracks. So you're going to want to hang tight after I get done talking conferences. Join us for that interview with Andrea. If you have firefighter information that you want shared on the Firehouse Vigilance platforms, please email that to fhvpromo@gmail.com. I try to gather as much information as I can when I'm on social media, but it depends on if I'm where I can write it down and if the time is right. It's a lot easier if I get that information in the email where I can compile it, keep it all in one space, and then upload it for the next blast out. So again, if you have firefighter information that you want shared, anything that will benefit our firefighters and their families, whether it's raffles, donations, special events for fallen firefighters, injured firefighters, family members, or just upcoming conferences and training events that you want shared on the Firehouse Vigilance platform, please email me at fhvpromo@gmail.com and we'll make sure to get it added in. I want to dive right in and share with you something I saw on Facebook and also something near and dear to my heart. Anybody that's still battling cancer or has a mother battling cancer or relative, whatever, it just near and dear to my heart. I lost my mother 10 years ago to cancer. And so every opportunity that I see come across that has the opportunity to help somebody in their journey with battling cancer, I want to share and help in any way that I can. Michael Lataki, a firefighter out of Texas, his mom is battling cancer for the past couple of years. From what I understand, her treatment has responded very well to it. She's battled breast cancer, brain cancer, multiple rounds of chemo, surgery on both. GoFundMe has been set up for her. They are a family that it doesn't come easy to ask for help, as most firefighters have a hard time asking for help. But a GoFundMe has been set up to help his mother with expenses. They said any help is appreciated, and obviously, if you financially cannot help, prayers are always welcomed by the family for Michael Lataki's mother. And I'm going to have the GoFundMe link located in the comment section of the blast out. Something else I saw yesterday on the last blast out, I talked about a conference coming up for a firefighter who was succumbed to his injuries on in the Black Sunday terrible fire there in New York. And yesterday I saw I want to say Kevin McCart had made a post about it's called Black Sunday Trial by Fire, a feature film by Catriona Ballou, the daughter of Lieutenant John Ballou. And I'm going to just read from the website because I want to make sure I capture what it is that his daughter has said and not add my own to it. But so reading from her website, it's a young fireman and father of four jumps to his death to escape a Bronx fire alongside 5 other firemen. Upon inspection of the fire, it becomes clear that both the building owners and the city of New York are at fault. The fireman's wife and the surviving but chronically injured men from the fire must grapple with the subsequent court case and their own trauma resulting from the tragic day. In 2005, one horrific Sunday became a horrific decade for the Ballou family. Following the death of their husband and father, Lieutenant John Ballou, 2 court cases attempting to find justice for him and Lieutenant Kurt Myron after they were forced to jump from the 5-story building overtook their lives. The press were hiding in the bushes to take pictures of the family. Their entire lives were on display. While now the widowed Miss Ballou was left to raise their 4 children, all under the age of 6. The story of Lieutenant John Ballou's death and the subsequent years that followed is a representation of the bravery of our nation's first responders, the brotherhood of the FDNY, as well as a tale of grief and how people must move on with their lives, even when the worst thing imaginable happened. Black Sunday will bring you into a world you never want to experience for yourself, but it will unfortunately was the reality for the Blue family. In this feature film, important lives had to be lost in order for future lives to be saved. Katriana Ballou is raising funds for her feature film. You can read more about the project or give at johnballou.com, and that's JOHNBELLEW.com. Go on and listen to Rob Fisher and Dan DeGrease. They did a podcast by Fire Engineering yesterday. I believe it was yesterday. At least that's when I watched it. It was on the Hump Day Hangout. And they actually did an interview with Lieutenant John Ballou's widowed wife and daughter. And you can listen to the sad realities that the firefighters and their families all too often face on that podcast, where Eileen Ballou and their daughter, Katriana Ballou, they discuss the journey of the Ballou family following the unimaginable loss of their husband and father, John, the visible and unseen grief and obstacles of the family, and their strength and perseverance through this event. You know, I don't know how many firefighters are across this nation, but if every firefighter gave even $5 to Katriana Ballou's film that she is creating, Black Sunday Trial by Fire, I can only imagine how much of a positive impact that would be. It is truly a film that needs to be seen, and the history of that horrific event needs not be forgotten. Again, I will have the links and all of that in the comment section. And I had a veteran FDNY firefighter in chief who reached out to our email, fhvpromo@gmail.com, and let me know a little bit about what he's got going on. He has a show called American Firehouse Cuisine. It's the bravest new cooking show. Hearty and delicious recipes prepared by veteran FDNY firefighter chef Joseph T. Bonanno, welcoming firefighters, chefs, cookbook authors, restaurants, foodies, and celebrities from all around the world. I love this. A portion of the proceeds from the merchandise and his appearances goes to Firefighter Behavioral Health Alliance, which is an organization that works towards suicide prevention for first responders and assists the survivors. You can go to AmericanFirehouseCuisine.com. I've gone on and watched his shows. I actually sent it to my son, who he's 2 years into his fire service career, and said, you got to watch this guy. So check it out, buy some merch, book an appearance with him, and part of the proceeds go to great things. Firefighter Rescue Survey, now on Patreon. For as little as $1 a month, you can be a part of helping the mindset match the metrics. Donations are used to support the project expenses. Firefighter Rescue Survey aims to raise awareness and demonstrate the value of firefighter and rescue reporting for the improvement of civilian outcomes in fireground operations. Visit firefighterrescuesurvey.com to learn more and to prepare for the next one. And if you listen to the Blastout, you're going to hear that every single time I do it. They're doing great things. Firefighter Rescue Survey. All right. 2023 is coming to a close. That means 2024 is opening up with lots more fire conferences and training events that you can get in on. January 27th through the 28th is the 99th annual Iowa State Fire School. Corley's going to be instructing on Sunday, January 28th from 9 to noon. He's going to do his class Reflexive Readiness. Focus is specifically on the first 2 operations of the initial arriving unit, teaching best practices and habit enforcing techniques long before the tones drop. Women's Firefighter Symposium is going to be February 22nd in Gilbert, Arizona. Fire Nuggets is teamed up with Women in Fire for this exciting symposium filled with top-notch instructors developed for every rank, strategic, tactical, and task operation. Early registration, only $100. Get registered at firenuggets.com. You're going to have Lauren McCullough, aggressive command lessons from Line of Duty Death. I got to meet Lauren at Carolina Fire Days just not that long ago. phenomenal, fantastic person. I literally introduced her to Corley and said, you know the word boss babe. The definition of boss babe is standing right here. Her name is Lauren McCullough. And if you have any opportunity to talk to her, you might have to, through conversation, get it out of her. But she is the definition of a boss babe. Valerie Solano, ex-potential engine. She is super excited. She is going to be there. And I think I'm not a firefighter, so I don't know firefighter language, but I think she gets to talk more, or gets to do like more of tactical. And she normally does like, from what I understand, will do like instructional. And so, and Valerie, if I got that wrong, you know what, just slap me next time you see me. So I'm trying to do good with you. I met Valerie in Carolina Fire Days as well, and another badass boss babe. Heather Marquis, working fire, recruitment and retention of women firefighters. Tammy Sifra is going to be there, ex-potential engine. And Craig Weinschink, butchered that one, seconds count. He's going to be instructing on seconds count. March 21st through 24th is Dadgum Fire Conference in Texas. The family reunion is going to go down in 2024. Spouses are encouraged to attend with their firefighters. Take your spouses. If any chance you get, spouses go, any chance you get. It's rewarding. And Dadgum is one of those conferences that you truly feel like family. April 6th through the 7th, 2024 is the 41st annual LCC Fire School in Parsons, Kansas. Corley's going to be this year's keynote speaker, and registration opens January 3rd. So just around the corner. You can find and follow LCC Fire School on Facebook or find the link in the comments. Contact Andrew Johnston for more information. Event's going to be held at the Labette Community College. FDIC's April 14th through 20th. That's the big show. And registration is open, been open for a while. Go on, take a look at your instructors, and get registered for that if you haven't already. June 12th through the 15th, 2024, Great Lakes Hot, Michigan's premier fire conference. This is a 4-day event with the first 2 days being lectures, followed by an additional 2 days of hands-on. With live fire scenarios for select tracks. Day 1 keynote speaker this year is FDNY Deputy Assistant Chief Frank Lieb, and day 2 is Cody Trestrail. September 6th through the 8th, Black Sheep Fire Training in Thornville, Ohio. Go on and follow Black Sheep Fire Training for more information. And also, spouses, go follow Black Sheep Sisterhood. You're going to want to, they're going to update you on what you can expect there. They're going to be bringing me in for a spouses track. So I'm honored to be speaking there in Thornville, Ohio. At the same time, Corley's going to be there. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I look forward to meeting everybody that shows up, and hopefully I can give you a nugget or two to walk away with. September 12th through the 14th is First in Fire Conference in Little Rock, Arkansas. You're going to want to go follow First in Fire Conference for all the updated information. Ryan McCormick does a stellar job putting on that conference and getting the information out there on social media, so that way, come time for the conference, you know exactly what's going on. All right, guys, that wraps it up for volume 14 of the Blastout. I appreciate you guys. Stay with me though, because I'm going to go right into a conversation with my good friend, Andrea Trestrail. We're going to talk firemanship. We're going to talk about so many things, the spouses tracks, what you can expect for that. So again, hang tight. We're going to go right into it. Thanks, guys. I'll see you in 2 weeks for volume 15 of the Blastout. I am thrilled to welcome my friend, Andrea Trestrail, on volume 14 of the Blastout. She is the powerhouse behind the self-proclaimed title, Cody's Wife. Celebrating 24 years of marriage in December, she is the heartbeat of her growing family, including 2 beautiful daughters, a son-in-law, and the joy of being a first-time nan to their grandson, Arden, and another soon-to-be-added son-in-law. While family is her core, Andrea has also navigated the adrenaline-fueled world of ambulances and ERs, juggling a million other roles along the way. A seasoned veteran when it comes to being a fire wife, she ditched the clock punching routine a while back, focusing on family and diving into supporting Brothers in Battle, an organization of professional firefighters from the Pacific Northwest and beyond who work to preserve the fire service history and calling through hands-on training and lectures. In her current gig, she's a jack of all trades, from signing checks to screaming from windows, dropping babies, dolls, and being the ultimate chaos coordinator you ever did see. Known for effortlessly connecting with strangers and breaking the ice among badass firewives at various events, she is quick to give credit to so many others whose hard work ensures that firemanship's registration and the event itself will run smooth, a feat that could have easily broken the internet within the first 15 minutes of registration. Theirs stood the test of time. Everyone, welcome my friend Andrea to this week's Blastout. We are going to talk all things firemanship. We're going to talk spouses, lectures, and hot track. So I'm just going to jump right in. Andrea, is there anything that you would like to add to your introduction?
You rewrote that well.
I so want to read what you sent me. Girl, you have me rolling. Seriously. That is so funny.
That was too kind.
But seriously, when it comes to firemanship, this is, and you say this, it's bigger than you and Cody. Like, there are so many people behind the scenes that, you know, they're not looking for credit, but it is nice to know who these people are, you know? And so I want to give you just a second to kind of let us know, like, who are these people behind the curtain that's helping make sure. I mean, registration day was on this end, it looked phenomenal. Like, I couldn't tell like anything, but I know on the back end, the logistics of things. Yeah.
I know. So we have Jeff Bryant and his wife Ashley. He's vice president of Fire Nuggets, and he runs so many things. And then we picked him up for Brothers in Battle because we just had to have him. And he's literally why, like, if you want to thank anyone, it's Jeff Bryant who got firemanship going this year.
Wow.
Because we wouldn't, Cody calls him like the 10 pounds of pressure. Like, if you just keep constantly at it, and he just chipped away at us until we said yes. It was just so hard.
What a good man.
Conceptualize, you know, doing it not on location. And he's like, no, I swear I'll be your boots on the ground. I'll be your guy. And then his wife like showed up, and she's all got all these mad talents. Ashley's the webmaster, and she does all the graphics, and she does all the like blasts and you know, social media stuff. And
yeah,
and they're, you know, working in cahoots with Robbie Hendricks, who's done PDX forever, and he kind of like, you know, is like, well, this is kind of how it works, and like what I've dealt with, and so that's helped. And yeah, this is not Cody and I. This is all them.
That's one of the many things I love about you and Cody is that you have no problem giving credit where credit's due. You know, it's not
around. I was in Washington, Cody's in Berkeley. I mean, like, Jeff and Ashley were holding it down, and she's texting me like, this shit's insane.
No, well, it is good because when you think, you know, when you hear firemanship, you think, you know, you think Cody or you think Trestrail. So it is, I love that. Again, I love that you give the credit where credit is due. And I've never met any of these people, but I look forward to the time when I do. So I love meeting badass people. So
they are amazing.
Awesome.
We need lots of help.
Yeah, it sounds like it. All right. So we're just going to talk, let's just go right into talking about firemanship, kind of the how it got started, because this isn't the first one, how it got started and the motivation behind it. If you can speak on that.
Yeah. So let's see, this is number 6, started 2016. Last one was 2020. And so I had a run there, but and then before then it was what we were doing was a volleyball tournament, raising funds, and we did that for 3 years for Raise for Rubicon, just with local firefighters and their families, and had dunk tanks and a big barbecue and stuff like that. And he went from that to firemanship. And
Wow.
so he had to pick because he wanted to do both, and I was like, no, one or the other.
It's a
um
lot.
and really it just came from his deep-seated desire to reach the masses, spread the poison, right?
Love
And
it.
um and he's like, well, how can I do this on a large scale? Because Brothers in Battle were doing little classes here and there and everywhere, and it was, we were doing good, but he really, really, really wanted to impact our local area, which ironically didn't really
I don't.
we actually didn't have a lot of local guys. We had our guys that taught for us, and like the guys in the firehouse would show up, but primarily Portland did not show up.
I think it's rare if you're local for the local to, I don't want to say support you, but to show up. I hear
Yeah,
that more and
we
more.
got a little bit here and there, and then
Sure.
for a while, and then that went away completely. But so it really, we wanted to do local stuff, and that didn't really happen. Instead, it became like a national, everybody come from everywhere.
Yeah.
And that, see Portland, I think that was a draw, even though it was in February. And I don't know, get your pictures taken with the homeless, and don't step in poop, and go to Voodoo Donuts. It was great.
You're
But
making that sound really, I've never been,
oh yeah, well,
and
don't
I
go
don't
now.
think I want to go now.
It's worse now.
Oh man, it's hopefully it's going to turn. Hopefully. Well, uh so obviously you guys are not new to the conference scene as far as putting them on, and I tell anybody, if you never put on a conference, and I'm not speaking like I'm some professional, I'm not. Corley and I put on one, and I cannot speak highly enough of the firefighters and our community, the city of Moore, small local businesses that pitched in to help, but to make it happen. And so I'm only speaking on behalf of being behind the scenes on one, and that one was enough for me to know this is a lot of freaking work. And a lot of people don't know that, they pay their money to go to these conferences, and rightfully so, and they want it to go off without a hitch, and they want to get all their learning on, and their hands dirty and stuff like that, which is cool. But it is nice to know that behind the scenes, give a little bit of grace, because dang, it's a lot of work and a lot of logistics that can go wrong, and sometimes oftentimes do.
No, they always do.
They always do.
Something's always wrong. There's always somebody who can't come, or get sick, or house burns
Yeah.
down, or who knows what happens. There's always, we got really good at learning how to pivot.
Mm-hmm.
Having Cody has these crazy giant dreams, because let's be honest, he never went to a conference before we put one on. Once. So we didn't know what we were doing. We just literally was like, I think it should be like this. And then we did it. And nobody told us that 5 days was dumb. Because it is. So I think ignorance was bliss. Like, we just didn't know what we were getting into. And I wasn't an event planner. I didn't know any of this stuff. We just learned as we went. And the people that, went along with us, we had, Matt and Jill Fullerton were a big help, and Robbie Hendricks, of course. And there was so many people that contributed and made it what it was. It was just, Cody's vision.
Sure.
And then my meticulous nature. I think I put a little female touch to it, which might have helped a little bit, but
well, I love that you guys surrounded yourself with people that believed in you and ran with the vision. And I mean, it's highly respected. It's highly respected and talked about. So
yeah,
what is your, So what, I know you have your jack, like I said in the bio, you're a jack of all trades. And you wear a lot of hats. What is your role in the conference? I mean, do you even is there even a role
Uh geez.
besides chaos organizer that we already talked about?
It's that. Uh Basically I just take all the information, and I'm like, I really like spreadsheets. So I just compile the information, and basically I'm trying to organize Cody's mind.
Okay.
And so lots of spreadsheets, lots of things. Thank God for Google Forms and Docs, and otherwise we'd all be lost. I mean, we have a project management software that we use, and everybody's
Nice.
a part of it. So I think it's just being organized, and a lot of things go through Cody, and so that's different this year. Everything kind of going, a lot of things going through Jeff and Ashley, and so a lot of communication, a lot of like, okay, well, what are we doing? How are we going to make this work? And
Right.
I think I just compile everything and try to
Okay.
make it accessible, so when people need it, they can use it. And
You're kind of like the black box. You
yeah.
just maintain all the information. That's
Well,
an important role.
it's very well, I mean, I just don't like being unorganized. I don't like not knowing what's
Sure.
happening, like, ever.
So
Like,
when you
that's
show up on day one at conference, your people are going to know.
oh
They're
yeah.
going to, yeah,
Yeah,
there's a
and
lot to be said for that.
well, and now technology is so amazing, like with all the, stuff and QR codes and this
Sure.
and that. It's like you can just take a picture and boom, you have all the information, and Ashley's all on top of that stuff, and Jeff knows all this tech stuff that I don't know. So I'm
Yeah.
like, we need to do this, and he's like, oh yeah, like this.
Yeah. And he can make it happen. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah. You've surrounded yourself with a team of doers, it sounds like, which is
Well, I mean,
massively important.
he kind of forced us into it.
Twisted your arm, both arms. How's registration going? We already talked. I mean, anybody that tried to get on registration that day, look, I didn't have to wait. I would pop on every now and again just to see. I didn't hardly have to wait, but maybe a second or two to get in. Like,
It,
and I knew it was being overloaded.
I mean, well, we've had it crash in the past before, and we've had issues, like so many issues, so I think we've kind of like know. And luckily, you know um Jeff was on top of that and making sure that it was strong enough, or I don't know what it is, but like, so it doesn't crash. And there was there wasn't a whole lot. There was a few things that he had to give some people 24 hours to respond, and if their cards were not working or whatever. So it was that was really the only issue I think that happened. And so I was like, dang. I'm
The
so
sheer
impressed.
yeah, because the sheer amount of classes that sold out within, I don't even know. I mean, I don't, I feel like if I say within hours, I'm shooting long. I feel like it was less than that. I mean, there was classes just boom, boom, boom being sold out left and right on day
Yeah,
one.
there was some that sold out in 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Wow.
Yes, I read a comment that
Holy
somebody was
smokes.
like, it was like being in one of those money wind tunnels, and you were just grabbing. It's like, oh my gosh, that sounds awful.
I can totally visualize that though, because it was happening rapidly. Oh, I
Yeah.
was so impressed, so happy for you guys though. I mean, there's nothing worse than you gear up for it and then, it'd
Well,
be a dutz.
well, I mean, there's that, and there's always that possibility. So you're super nervous about it. And then when it happens, I'm just kind of stunned that people show up.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this means
That
we have to do this.
that to me, that is just, and I say to me, I'm not a firefighter. I'm married to one for 20, almost 28 years. So
Damn near makes
I
you one.
I speak fire talk through him. I don't speak fire talk. I speak my fire talk by way of him. So I hear what he says or through conversations him and I have had. But it just is, to me, it is a just a big neon sign that says there's a hunger in the fire service for this. I mean, for
100%.
these classes to sell out in 5 minutes, I mean, it's just, it's bonkers.
I know, so crazy. I love it.
Absolutely.
It's obviously meeting a need. So
Absolutely.
that's
Absolutely.
just always just blows me away. And I always feel so grateful.
Yeah.
Like I have these moments of like overwhelmed gratitude. Like
Yeah.
there's people out there that think like us.
Yes. Yeah. And that desire, that training that they wouldn't get probably, otherwise. And so what if you have one, or if you know of one, what is the top one or two most asked question since registration went live? Or have you had any?
That's probably a Jeff Ashley question. Yeah, I'm not sure if I think people are just pissed off that things are sold out.
Yeah, but there is a wait list. So
There is a wait list, and definitely
join.
get on those wait lists because who
Yes.
knows what can happen there.
Yes.
Like people drop out all the time, or somebody's like, hey, maybe we can make the class bigger. Or so
Sure.
don't think that wait lists are a waste of your time because you never know.
Sure.
You be able to get in.
Well, and if you don't get in on the hot tracks, there's still lectures available.
Yeah, we got workshops. We got a ton of workshops.
Yeah.
And then just the 3-day lecture, we still have room there.
Yeah.
So
So what because I know Cody on the weekly scrap, he touched on a lot of what to expect at like lectures or the hot tracks, things like that. But since I have you on here, I want to talk about the spouses side of things, because you guys have a 3-day spouse lecture and a 2-day hands-on. Is that correct?
yes, this is my dream coming to fruition, and I'm super
Yeah. So
excited about it. I've been dreaming about this forever.
me too. So that's what inspired it. So go. I want to hear all about it.
Well, it wasn't me. I've talked about it, and it's like Heather and I would unload on her. Like, I wish, I had something for the wives to do because
This is
a lot
Heather
of
Yowler.
Yowler, sorry.
Yowler.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, and just like what I wish there was something I could do, but I'm so kind of inundated with the conference. I was like, I don't know how to do that, and I don't know how to like mesh it. And so I guess my first like light bulb moment was we went to this Fools convention or Fools conference up in Seattle that Jody Fisher had a hand in putting on, and Rob's one of ours. And
Love
and so
them.
we so she kind of took me under her wing, and like, introduced me to everybody, and there was these wives, and Mike and Ann Gigliano did a presentation on their thing, which is awesome. And then we got into a short bus and went to like on a wine tasting. And I'm telling you, alcohol's the magic sauce to get a wife to open up.
Sure.
It breaks down all the barriers, and just like being away from the dudes and not having, that it's kind of a security blanket, it's like, oh crap, now we're by ourselves and like we have to talk to each other.
Right.
Wine helps. And just like getting to know each other throughout the day, I was like, this is awesome. I really like this like everybody, even though it was like across the spectrum demographic, it was like everybody got along really well. And I was like, this isn't normal for women. And a lot of us struggle to make friends at the firehouse with the wives and everything. But if you think about it, we're stuck with the dudes, and we're stuck with the kids running around if it's at like a Christmas party. And so we're all focused on that. And so we never really get to have a conversation. We never get to have our guards down and like do this. And so it was really important to me and Brothers in Battle. Like, I knew all the wives. Like, I want to meet all the wives. I want to hang out with them if I get a chance. It's not possible for all of them, but
Sure.
it's like, if these guys are that cool, their wives have to be that cool. Like, I'm sorry, that's just the way it works. And so, just investing in those relationships, and they want to start hanging out with like helping out with the conferences and classes and stuff. And just being a family, I think, friends.
Yeah.
It was so cool. And I just wanted everyone to experience that. And
Yeah.
then turns out, it's like Jessica and Kurt, Isaacson, they've been doing that crap for a long time. I didn't know. Nobody told me that I was allowed
Well,
to go to
you're on
conferences.
opposite ends of the country.
Yeah.
So
But I mean, they do it well,
yeah.
they really understand, like, how to connect, and they've made some great friendships. Like that
Oh,
group that is in that, like they are tight, they're
yeah.
close, and it's
Yeah.
really,
No,
I,
I do
I
love
want
that.
that for everyone.
And again, one of the things I love about you is that you genuinely want that for other fire wives. Like my best, I haven't had a best friend since high school, like because women are guarded and we just have a lot of priorities going on. We raising kids or having families. We don't got a lot of time for that. Um, I started going to these conferences and just with Corley and to do my own thing. I was going to go do my own thing. I'm self-sufficient. I like to go entertain myself.
Oh yeah.
And so I would stick to myself. And it was at one of Kurt Isaacson's conferences in Pensacola Beach. And
Mhm.
I got to meet some amazing wives. And I literally, for the first time since high school, have best friends now. Like it is the greatest thing. I'm getting ready to go on a week-long solo trip just to go see some of my girlfriends on the east side of the country. So,
Crazy.
and I
No,
wouldn't have done that had I not go to these conferences.
no, seriously, it is
Yeah.
so amazing, and it's not just firewives either. Like I'm meeting these badass firefighters,
Oh yeah.
firefighters that totally run circles around me, but they're just amazing to hang out because
They
I
are.
speak
Yeah.
their language. I understand what they're talking about, but they're still chicks and they get to a chance to be one,
Yep.
if they get to be around some other ladies.
Yeah.
And it has been awesome just to be able to, like, I don't know, break down those weird barriers that people have put up,
Hmm.
and there, it's not, there's no reason why we all can't just, you know,
Yes.
get
Coexist together. If we're going to talk about being a fire family, like let's truly be a fire family. And that's one of the stereotypes that I feel like fire wife life is doing a really good job of breaking down the barriers of stereotyping. It's not a man bashing hating seminar that we go to as on a spouse conference. It's contrary to that. It's building each other up and building up our relationships and talking highly of our spouses and respecting what each other does. It's not a one-sided deal. So yeah, these fire conferences, the spouses tracks have been very beneficial for me. I will attend one every chance I get. So
So you've actually gone to Behind the Flames, which is our 3-day lecture series for the spouses. And I have not been. I know Kathy,
yeah.
and we've talked a lot, and she's a hoot. Oh my gosh. She she might be the most put together, like fun.
Oh yeah.
How do I describe her?
Yeah,
So fun.
she is a force to be reckoned with. I mean,
The force of nature, and she might be the most organized person on the planet. Like
and
she's
uber
brilliant,
intelligent.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Like I feel stupid in front of her. Like I'm just
But she has
little
the ability to
frustrated.
make you not feel stupid.
She does. Just
But
like
that's how I feel anyways. She
perfect.
like dumbs it down for me a lot.
Just like walking me through it.
Yep.
She doesn't use a condescending voice or anything, but I'm
No,
sure when
not at
she
all.
gets the phone, she's like, "Oh my god."
No, not at all. One of the most welcoming women I've ever met. And she's one of the ones I'm traveling solo on my solo trip to go visit. Her and Tracy McCart and the Edwards Christmas party. And yeah, I'm so extremely looking forward to that in my time away. But yeah, so they put on phenomenal conferences. They have great speakers. They vet them. I don't know. I haven't talked to to Kathy about the Behind the Flames, their 3-day program that they're doing at Firemanship. So I don't know like what speakers or what they have lined up for that, but I do know the speakers in the past, phenomenal, phenomenal. So those ladies that run Fire Wife Life, I feel like I think they're like you and I, like there's a passion to to welcome and to empower fire spouses and to let them know, like, hey, we're here, we're in this together, where there's judgment free, when shit gets real, as a fire spouse. And so for many years, I think a lot of us just kind of carried that and just said we're alone in it. And to realize you're not alone in it. And it's just like it's empowering to know that, hey, I'm a badass. I've been a badass the whole time,
Didn't know it.
and yeah, I didn't know it.
No, it's true. It's, having, just the familiarity of the topics that, are discussed. I have her rundown, of what she wants to do. And it's like 10 myths and realities of being married to a firefighter,
Yes.
and communication and firefighter marriage, and navigating spouse and child trauma. And, it's like stress,
It's a
priorities, and understanding how to take care of your mental health. And then they do yoga, and then there's
yes.
mimosas, I think, and there's like round tables, and they get to discuss, which is a really
Yes.
good format of small groups,
Mm-hmm.
and you talk at the table, which is a really good way to get to know each other.
Yeah.
And so you're not alone, because we go to these conferences and we like, I know no one.
Yeah.
By the end of it, it's like, no, I found people,
Yeah. Yeah. I this is my tribe. I know when I first started going again to these conferences, I was like, this is going to be so awkward. And I'm not one to be awkward. And so I don't like being awkward. I end up saying stupid crap. And, but it wasn't, it really was just very, organic, but happened so rapidly. And so now whenever I go, I may have not seen a wife for 2 years, but the second we see each other, it's like we're
Boom,
embraced. But yeah,
boom.
it's like we haven't spent any time apart. Facebook helps with that too, Facebook, keeping up on Facebook and stuff like that. So there's some good to social media.
Well,
But
most of my friends now are nationwide. Like, I don't have, I don't have anybody in
yeah,
Montana. It's nobody's around, but I don't feel alone. Like, there's
sure.
people I talk to every day. There's people, I'm just in constant communication with that, and they're literally scattered all over the country. And that, that helps.
Yeah,
We need it. We need to,
absolutely.
and it's a big deal. We need it.
No, it really is. It really is. So we're talking about the Behind the Flames, the 3-day spouse track that is coming up with Firemanship. There are some slots still left. I don't
54.
54. Okay.
4 spots
So
left open. It's the same days as the conference, the fire conference.
okay.
So we're still figuring out, kind of depending on well, a host of factors, where it's going to be at. But there'll be shuttles and stuff like that. And so you don't have to sit through all the fire stuff, which I know some of it's interesting, but most of it's not.
Right.
So
So while the firefighters are in their conference, the spouse will be having a conference as well. Okay. So
if they
can't
so choose to go to this, it's, they'll have their own thing they can go, and it's, they don't have
so
to.
bottom line, firefighters, if you're going, take your spouse, take your significant other. They'll have stuff to do. You can hang out afterwards, have a little
And it's
date night.
8 to
And
5.
yeah.
So, it's for the full day. And then afterwards, so we'll have our socials and stuff where everybody comes back together and hangs out. And then you can kind of, introduce your spouses to the other people's spouses. And then I've seen a lot of, friendships, like,
Oh yeah.
so fun to like kind of watch it, like, oh, we all went to lunch together because we connected and they took the same class together, or they didn't even take the same class, but now we're all friends and now we're going to like, they're starting to plan trips together.
Yeah. I was going to say there's nothing greater than your spouse being, you and your spouse being friends with other married couples. Like,
Yes.
to be just
Dude.
the only friend to a married couple is awkward, but to have your spouse and you both on board, like,
Yeah.
yeah, take trips together, have a good time, go to date night. Our best friends are here in Oklahoma City. And I mean, it's nice. They're a couple, we're a couple, and we get to go do couple things together. So
Yeah. Weird. Like,
yeah, it is a
like,
weird, I'm loving life, man. I really am. This stage of my life, I'm loving it. So we talked about the 3-day lecture for the spouses, but let's talk about the 2-day hot. And it's sold
yeah.
out. Like,
Yeah.
did it sell out day one? Or
I
was it like at the beginning of day
think it
two?
had, well, I think by the end of it, it had like 3 spots left or something.
Okay.
And I was like, whoa, geez.
These spouses want this hot.
Yes.
They want in those bunker gear.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's so much fun, you know.
Yeah,
So
I've
it's
never been
taking
to one. So tell me
control.
about it.
They call it it's Twisted Fire Industries.
With
So
Heather
it's
Yowler.
Heather Yowler runs it. Joe is, that's his business thing. And it's, they call it Taking Control Home Front to the Fire Ground. So that's a new title. So I just called it the spouse experience forever, or the hot spouse.
Yeah,
But
I like that new title though. That's cute.
so it's been kind of an experiment that Heather was like, well, why not? Because she really likes to get in there and like she was given opportunities to like do stuff. And so she's like, oh, everybody's got to get in on this. I mean, if you're a type that is like, yeah, I want to try, why not?
Sure.
But I think the best part about it is it's not, you are learning how to do this stuff, but there's no pressure. Like if you don't even want to participate and you're like, I'm not doing that, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But it's, you gear up and you take a door with a Halligan and an axe, and you have a partner and you have to trust them not to hit you with the axe.
Okay. And these are spouses that probably have just met. So you put a
Just
lot of
met,
trust in these
this is like
strangers,
breaking the ice, right? Like, please don't hurt me.
or breaking your head, or
Or dragging each other around, like doing drags.
oh,
Uh,
cannot wait for this.
and it's just funny. It's we push water, so we flow water with the hose, and that is always the one. It's the best thing ever. Their faces light up. Like, everybody who's like, oh, this is awesome, and
So
then
to be
just,
able to be on the end of the nozzle and to flow
yeah,
the water with
yeah,
all the pressure. I've never done that, so I don't even know what I'm
yeah,
talking about.
yeah. And if you can feel the power of it and you're like, oh,
Okay.
goodness. And some people really get into it. You can tell the competitive ones, which is so much fun.
I wonder
Uh,
how many spouses you guys have turned firefighters through this.
I don't know, but I think there's
I would
quite a few
love to
that could
know.
be. Like, I've seen these amazing badasses like take windows, like, with a Halligan,
Yeah.
smash out these like sills and like dive inside, and they're just killing it. And I'm
To
like,
save the baby dolls.
yeah, to save the baby doll. And I'm like, I don't know if I could do that. And like dragging people around, and we've got to pack up and go inside. It wasn't real smoke,
Now, what does
but
pack up? Is that with the gear, like
with the
the breathing?
SCBA, breathing air.
Wow.
We And that was fun.
Sounds terrifying.
What you don't have to, but it wasn't anything dangerous. I mean, we just went
I
in the
know.
thing and like we watched the guys like in the dark, which is whatever. So it's very loud and very whatever, but it kind of gives you the sense of, you're kind of
Sure.
claustrophobic, you're breathing air, it's smoky, you can't see anything. There's just chaos happening everywhere
Yeah.
and yelling and so many noises, and they're just like, ooh.
It probably gives them
Yeah,
a new perspective and respect for what their spouse does.
it does.
I
Like
would think so.
how hard it is to like do this
Yeah.
stuff. But there's no like pressure to like do it correctly or perform to a high level or anything like that. It's really just playing. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
well, I want to see this side of your life.
Yeah.
It's so closed off to everybody. It's
Mhm.
only to them. And it's like we got to hear about it. We know the lingo. We hear about, shop talk incessantly.
Sure.
And to kind of put our hands on the tools to I don't know, just mess around and
Just the
like
experience
just the
of it.
experience. And
Yeah.
it's like watching, just like that was so cool.
Yeah.
Can we do it again? Like we went through a maze, in a blackout room. Like that was super cool. Like
Wow.
it with breathing air, all fully packed up. So they kind of got so just like little tastes of what they go through. And
Yeah.
so
Well, I think
it's
it speaks
fun.
volumes to the fact that it sold out so quickly. I mean, there's a desire there. Spouses are desiring to have that experience.
Yeah. And we just fuck off mostly. Like it's seriously like we have so much fun. We're just messing around. I'm always
Right.
like, "Where's margaritas?" I'm always pushing the margarita bar, but it's it's a little chaotic sometimes they try to get everybody to their spouse's class. And I don't know if so they can see what they're doing and maybe
Oh
participate
yeah.
with whatever that class is working on. And so we've done that in the past, but I think at firemanship there's like 17 hot classes.
That's a lot.
I don't know if that's gonna happen. So we'll try to make the ones around us just super cool for them,
Sure.
and make it participation just easy and fun. And hopefully we just get to hang out and
Oh, I
get
think you're
some
gonna make
fun.
I think so many spouses are gonna be having such a great time. It's gonna be talked about for years, if not their
Oh,
lifetime. So
it's amazing. Like they do a good job. And having just getting to know everybody. And there is they usually do a lecture part um on mental health and suicide, which
okay.
is heavy. I get it. And I'm not sure if they're going to do that for this one, because if everyone is like going through the conference, then a lot of that might have been covered, but I'm not sure. um they do cover some really, really important things, like making a will, recognizing, these things. And, watch, like I've been a part of, I think, every class that they've done. And it's, it is alarming how needed
Mm,
this is. Like, we really have got to talk about it, even though it's not something you want to talk about.
right.
It's like, ooh, but I would say almost half of the people are like, he's struggling, I'm struggling,
Mm,
we need some resources. Do you have resources? And we're like, actually, we do.
yes. Yeah.
And we're, working on, making that bigger, because we know so many people. I mean, we have workshops going on at this firemanship, literally dedicated to mental health.
Mm,
And there's resources out of the wazoo. It's just compiling them all and making them available to everybody.
yeah.
And they're from coast to coast. And it's been, the suicide rate is something that, I mean, it's the elephant in the room we got to talk about.
Mm,
Like, it's everywhere, it's prevalent. The days that we're living in are pretty heavy.
yeah.
And the fire service is going through some stuff, and it's affecting people really negatively. And we need to like not shy away from it. We need to just be like, okay, guess what? This is happening.
Yeah.
And we can do something about it. And you're not alone,
Right.
because I've gone through it, or he's gone through it, or we know what to do about it, or just being peer support, just giving our numbers out, just like,
Right.
hey, if you need to talk, like, I'm here.
Yeah.
And that's, it's like how many after every class, like the Facebook requests or, Instagram, whatever. It's like now you have all these people that you're in contact with and they can just text you
Mm-hmm.
and just be like, hey, what's up?
Yeah. Yeah.
I got
No,
some
and
shit.
sadly it's a decision in made in a split second that I think oftentimes if they did have that outlet or had the ability to say, I'm feeling this way and not feel criticized by it, by saying they're feeling that way, just
Yeah.
by giving them the moment to talk about it, maybe that would that moment in time would pass, and then they would
Right.
no longer be suicidal. No, it is happening far too often. And you're right. I mean, something has to be done about it. So,
Well, I just don't think, I think we should just normalize it.
mhm,
Like, this is real. This is our life. This is plaguing us.
mhm,
And we are grown ass adults who can talk about hard things. We do
absolutely.
shit all the time. Why can't we do this? We
Yeah.
can do this. This is fine. And we just need each other to do it. And we need each other to not make it freaking weird.
Right.
Like, stop making it weird. Stop making it awkward. It's not that big of a deal. Are you depressed? Yeah, me too.
Right.
Did you
Yeah.
go through something? Yeah, me too. Are you going through hell? Yes, me too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can we talk about it? And, it's like being alone sucks, not knowing like who to talk to or that you can talk to someone.
Mhm.
Or, and sometimes you don't want to talk to somebody that knows you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes
Well,
it's
and I
really
think
hard.
too, just being guarded of not wanting to have your information spread like wildfire. I mean, the fire service is notorious for gossip.
Phone, tell a friend, tell a firefighter.
Right. Right. Luckily, I feel like today's fire service has some amazing advocates for it, for
Yeah,
mental health. And you got like Blake Stinnett with Next Wrong, out there doing phenomenal
sounds
things.
amazing.
Yeah. Dina Ali has no problem, spitting her wisdom and her facts and the research she's done. So there and others, I
There's so
may
many.
not have their names at the tip of my tongue, but
Yeah.
there's so much advocacy for it in the fire service today, and we just got to keep it going. Like we got to keep it out there and
Well, there's
hopefully
getting
safe.
more and more and more, and there's like, I mean, it's getting to the point where there's programs emerging that are like
Mm.
better than others,
Yeah.
and sometimes you just need that peer-based, one-on-one with somebody who knows exactly what you've been through. You don't
Yeah.
want to talk to a clinician. You
Yeah.
don't want to go down that route. You can't see yourself doing that because, I mean, it takes, we're all different and we all need different things. And there's just so much out there. And so, you know, um, so Heather Love Smith, um, she's the Henrico, Virginia firefighter, that is on the spouse cadre, taking control cadre, saying that.
Okay.
Taking. And she lost somebody, and so she really just dove into it, and she was like, I really want to talk about this. And so she started talking about it, and it, definitely hitting home. And then Val kind of took over because she just had a baby. Heather did, not Val.
Is
uh
that Val
Val Solano.
Solanas?
So she's from Aurora, Colorado.
Okay.
And so she took over and she did a great job. Like, she really personalized it, put her own stamp on it, and I don't think there was a dry eye in the room.
Oh
It was
wow. And that was
because
at Carolina Fire Days?
yes,
This okay,
this
San
last
Luis.
one, and
Okay.
it was like 40 women all kind of
Wow.
crying or
Wow.
passing out tissue everywhere, like everybody, because I think we just identify. It's
Mhm.
like, oh, I didn't even realize that's me, or
Yeah.
that's somebody that's really important to me.
Yeah.
And it's like we have to take our mental health seriously right now.
We do.
And we have these badass women that are leading the charge, and it's freaking awesome.
It
And
is.
it-
A lot of greatness is coming to the fire service in today's world. So,
oh yeah.
um, I feel like it's in good hands. Speaking of Valerie Solano, her and Lauren McCullough, just a slight little plug here. They're gonna
Also total badass. I love her so
yeah,
much.
they're gonna be at Women's Firefighter Symposium February 22nd in Gilbert, Arizona.
Mhm.
And they got a whole host of speakers, women that are going to be speaking on their like professional, and whatever it is that they're speaking on. They're going to be there. Fire Nuggets has teamed up with Women in Fire, and I think it's Fire Nuggets' first women's conference that they've done. I
That's
think
awesome.
I think that that's what is on their little flyer thing. So I thought that,
So
damn, that's pretty
cool.
incredible.
Yeah.
So yeah, when you said
Stuff's
Val, I was
happening.
like, okay, yeah,
Stuff is definitely happening, which is very, very, very cool.
yes, love that, love that. Um, Going back to the hot, what can the spouse, what do they need to plan for as far as dress? How would you, what would you recommend
Well,
them
so
bring?
definitely like you're gonna be in gear. And it's gonna be July. And
Now, do you
so
guys provide the gear,
yeah.
or do they need to bring some?
Well, I mean, if they have access to some that might fit better, then by all means.
Okay.
But because it's going to be kind of a random poll, like asking people for their decommissioned gear, basically. So, hey, anybody with decommissioned gear in the Aurora, Illinois area? Right here, right here. We
So
need
bring gear if you can. It's an
if you
option you can bring.
can. But
If
honestly,
not, you guys will have something.
yeah, so we're gonna try to outfit everybody, try to have packs for everybody. That's another plug. Anybody needs air packs. Um, and just something comfortable that you can move around in, it's like workout clothes or whatever. Uh eh, a lot of people wear their tennis shoes. You're gonna get wet.
Okay.
So either bring another pair of kicks with you or something to change into because you are going to get wet and you're probably going to get dirty. So don't look cute. Um, like this is cute. The rest, don't worry about it. Uh, it's seriously like we're all going to be wearing like our husband's gear. So it's not,
Sure.
yeah, not super sexy. But and it's fun if you feel protected. So I always wear waterproof boots. They're not rubber boots, they're just my work boots. And that keeps me dry through the whole thing. And we'll give you gloves and stuff. But honestly, if I have a pair of good boots on and good gloves, I feel invincible, like I can do anything. So it's just be comfortable. Just think about your footwear a little bit. Like if you don't want to be sloshing around in your wet kicks all day long. And it's not super intensive. Like you're not gonna be sweating like maybe a little bit, but not much
Yeah.
really. It's just way more fun.
Okay.
And I don't know, it's light. It's light. It's easy. Just
Yeah.
be comfortable and know that you're gonna get wet.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, that helps because I wouldn't have a clue of what I'm supposed to dress. So I would be showing up in like flip flops and, be like, get out of here with that.
Yeah. Well, and it helps that it's gonna be summer. So it's not
Yeah.
gonna be like freezing cold
Oh,
and
yeah.
need layers
It'll be
and
more enjoyable.
you're freezing because you're wet.
I say more enjoyable because I love summer. So a lot of people probably be like, I'm going to be suffering. Be like, no, this is enjoyable.
Well, I mean, and then we do have water available. So if you get too hot,
Yeah. Yeah. There
there
you
you go. There you go.
Hose
We
them
have
down.
all the bases covered.
So you talked about just in conversation just now, decommissioned gear and air packs.
Yeah.
So is that something, do you have some like a contact that they can get a hold of if they have that?
Well, contact me. Or you can
Via
contact
email or
Heather or Joe at twistedfireindustries.com.
Okay.
And they're on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. So probably them more than me. But
Okay.
if you are in the area and you happen to have a bunch of gear that, you know, no one's using, or air packs that, you know, hopefully still work, because I would like to get everybody breathing air, because it's a lot. It's an experience.
Mhm.
Not everybody wants to do it. But so far there's 40 of us, and unless Heather opens it up to more, but you know, that takes logistics. So
Yes. Yeah.
we'll see if that happens or not.
And more
Um,
supplies and
yeah, and more teachers. I
yeah.
got I got a friend coming, Lucy McMahon is coming. She's gonna be helping us out because we have so many ladies, and she's a badass firefighter from Clackamas, and she's one of our guys' wives. They just got married a couple months ago, and she just runs circles around us.
So she's a firefighter and a spouse.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
What a combo.
Yeah, well, we need people to actually tell us what to do, how to do it correctly. I'm
Correctly.
like, I
Yeah.
don't know where to put my hands. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen somebody take a door like 50 billion times. So I'm like, yeah, you just do this and you just do this. And then you put a Halligan in my hand for me to do it. And I'm like, I don't know what to do.
We need at least one professional to the amateurs.
Yeah, it's like I have no muscle memory. I forget everything that I've ever been taught my whole life, and I'm just so don't
So,
look at me to know what to do. I'm an idiot.
so if if there's vendors out there that want in on firemanship, what is the best way, or who do they contact?
So if there is vendors, if there is sponsors, if there's donations and raffle items, which we love all your goodies and like to display them prominently, that is coming. We want to be very meticulous, or I want to be very meticulous how I capture everybody's information so nobody gets lost and everybody gets a shot, and everybody knows exactly what's going on, and have letters drafted so you know exactly what you're, you know,
Mhm.
getting into. So that's being worked on right now, and
Okay.
so
So
that
to
will
be
be
determined.
yep, that'll be coming. They'll be pushed
When
out pretty soon.
Okay, that's what I was just getting ready to ask. When you roll that out, you'll push it on social media and all
Yep.
that to share.
Yeah.
Okay,
Cody will
good.
do it. Firemanship conference websites will do it. Jeff and Ashley are going to be all over it. And also volunteers. That's a big one.
Yes.
So we have, I affectionately call them my red shirt army, because it's literally, you look out into the audience and anybody who helps wears red.
Nice.
And it's
So
like,
don't wear red if you're not a helper.
yeah, don't wear red or you will be put to work.
Right.
And so if you want to volunteer, you know, we're going to need a lot of help locally. But a lot of people are coming in, and like a lot of people that has helped us in Portland, they're like, we're coming, you know, they've been our staples. They've been there since the first one. You know, we love them. I can't imagine doing a conference without them, because they're just so integral part of who we are. And uh and so they become family, and red shirts become our family. And you know, we just see each other over and over again. And if you want to help, that's great. I have a link and a form to fill out, and it's just, for me right now, I'm just nailing down everything that needs to be filled.
Okay.
So there's not like 50 million over here and only 10 over here. You know, I'm gonna
Sure.
kind of trying to make sense of that in my OCD brain.
So are volunteers signing up currently or not just yet?
They're trying to, but I'm not letting them yet.
Okay. So that's nothing yet, just yet.
So no, we are gonna push that out as soon as that's perfected,
Okay.
and then start start letting the floodgates open and getting people plugged into all these spots, and it will be fantastic.
Oh
It
no,
takes
it's
an army. It takes
oh
an army. In Portland, we had like over 200 volunteers.
wow.
Yeah. Like shuttle drivers
Holy Christmas.
and airport graders. And we had build out people, like people helping us set up for the lecture and tearing down lecture, like weeks beforehand. We had these like logistics coordinators and site coordinators and all these people that are just like, I know I can swing a hammer,
Yeah.
I can do this, or I can pick stuff up, or I know I can pick up water, or I can, like just
Bless them. Wow.
amazingness, just
Yeah.
people just showing up and being awesome. And it doesn't have to be, these Herculean efforts. It can literally be like, hey, I know a guy who has water. You want
Mhm.
some? It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, can you bring it?
Yes. Even down to the tiniest details. Yeah.
It's true. It's like the logistics are huge, and
Yeah.
the fact that it's like 3 times bigger than we've ever done before.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's the stress ball.
I've had it this whole time.
The thing is going to be popped and it's like it's going to be worthless by the time it comes around. Stress
No,
ball's going to be stressed out.
I will be on number 7 by then.
So if the way that you guys structured the registration, I've never heard of that before. And it's just that just speaks volumes to who you guys are um, in terms of giving back to the fire service and making training available to anyone and everyone that desires to have it. So because of that, you guys have a sponsor spot. So whether you're a firefighter or not, you may not even be in the fire service or have family in the fire service. There's a way for you to donate on there. Is that correct on the registration link?
Yeah,
If you bypass?
if you're just down with the cause and you like of somebody who really needs or wants to like come, it's like, how do we reach everybody? Because we know there is like these amazing badass people that we need on our team. Like
Yeah.
we need to get them spun up onto what's out there, because they don't even know what's out there. They don't even realize all the resources that are at their fingertips because they haven't plugged into this weird conference world that we have. And it's like there's so many people that need it, that don't realize that they can have it, or they can't afford it, because honestly, we couldn't afford any of this stuff when the kids were younger.
Yeah.
It's no freaking way. And everybody works, multiple jobs, and it's really, really hard to kind of like even allow yourself to think that this is a possibility for you. And so we want to kind of break down that barrier as much as we can. Cody had this this moment where he's like, I really feel like God's telling me to put this on for free to anybody who
Wow.
needs it, because we need them just as much as they need us. And
Wow.
and it's just about family. It's like pulling in the ones that they're kind of lost in the weeds. And it's like there's so many people out there that like know a guy or a lady that is like literally a badass, and they're into it and they love it, but it just doesn't align. The stars don't align. It just doesn't work. It's really hard to do this. And a lot of times it's just encouragement. It's just like, hey, I'm there. Come with me, and it's hard to say yes. And so we really want those people that need it, and that would benefit from it, because we know that we will benefit from them, because it's just such a phenomenal group like of talented, amazing doers. They do things, they go back, and they're the ones that teach. They're the ones that inspire. They're the ones that make change. Like they are, that they are the ones bubbling from the bottom that is making this thing work. And we need more. And there's more of us. It's just we have a really weird little world. And we want to expand that to as many people as we possibly can. And through sponsorships, through other people paying it forward, or whatever it is, like, just the response has just been humbling and kind of overwhelming that, you know, brotherhood's real.
Yeah.
They're stepping up for each other. And I think we really need to step up for each other right now. And we really need to step out. And this is our shot. This is our opportunity to do that. Like,
Yes.
let's actually do the thing that we say we are.
Right.
Are we really brothers? That's a non-gender specific term. That means
Sure.
family. That means you're there for these people. And we want to do that in multiple ways. We're doing something else that we've never done before, and that is we're having prayer teams.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, who's ever done
Awesome.
that at a conference?
That
So,
is fantastic.
well, it's, this stuff is going on in the world and we are feeling it. And instead of drinking it away or pretending that it's not happening or getting the rush of the conference of being around everybody, but then going home to the same old problems. Hey, why don't you want some prayer? I mean, if you're into that, you want to hang out with some people that believe in this
Mhm.
stuff. And
Well, we're real quick to say, I'll pray for you on social media, but will you really pray for me in person? That says a
exactly.
lot.
And so I'm assembling a team of people that are going to be on site.
Beautiful.
And I think what we're going to do is, I mean, it's still rough in the making, but do like a QR code. And so it's very, very private, very one-on-one. You just call someone who is on there, very, very specifically, and just be like, hey, can you talk? Can we do this? And
Mhm.
then we'll go somewhere with them. And if they just want one-on-one, or if they want to, a couple people or whatever, whatever they're comfortable with,
Sure.
it's because some of this stuff is like, you don't want to tell, you don't want to tell a room full of strangers,
Yeah.
like going up for a prayer request in front of all these people's, like, you don't want to air your dirty laundry in front of people's.
Sure.
And I get that. I
Yeah.
wouldn't, I just wouldn't do it. So, but to have somebody who actually is like, no, I got your back, and this works.
Yeah.
Know it. I'm living it. I'm living proof that this works. This is why we're doing what we're doing, is because this is a God-given thing. Like, it wasn't on our radar in any way, shape, or form. And it's what it's doing to the fire service has been amazing, and let's keep that going in that same vein of this works because it's value.
Yeah.
It's it's brotherhood, it's loving each other, it's putting each other first. And we really want to stop this me first thing, because it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm so over it. It hurts so many people. It's destroying guys' careers,
Yeah. Yeah.
because here's these guys that are like, I want to help. And then they finally get to their dream job and they're like, no, 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 no. You just protect yourself. You just worry about yourself.
Yeah.
And they're totally defeated and totally, here's these like, badass type A
Mhm.
warriors. They want to run in, they want to do the best that they could
Which is
possibly do.
probably
And then
most of the
they're told,
fire service.
yeah. And
Yeah.
they're told they can't, or they're
Yeah.
not supposed to, or they shouldn't want to. And that's just, it goes
Well,
against everything they are.
and I kind of want, what does that do when you have somebody with that type of personality and that's the response they get? What does that do to their ego, to the home life? You know, it,
Ugh.
because it resonates more than just the firehouse. And that,
Oh,
I think
it's
that's
rough.
where I think hopefully we're seeing the tide turning with firefighters being more accepting to their spouses going to these conferences and things like that. I think the fire service is starting to wake up to that. That line of thinking is not healthy.
No. And it's so prevalent. It's everywhere. And it really hit home when, I mean, he's very open with it. So one of our guys, Brian Abbott, he was one of those. He was so demoralized from his department, and he's had some bad calls, you know, that he blamed himself for, which of course that's ridiculous. But you know, you can't help yourself because you're so hard, they're so hard on themselves that they should have done it, or sometimes, you know, their organization won't let them. And they literally watch people die for no other reason that their chief wouldn't allow them to do their job. You know, and you don't think that doesn't like kill you inside? Like, you don't, are
That
you
weighs on them
not
for
gonna bring
life.
that home? Are
Yeah.
you not gonna like constantly think about that? Like, so
Yeah.
it's brought home. It's a huge problem.
And the
And
spouse doesn't know about it. You know, oftentimes as
that's
a spouse, we don't know what the hell's going on at the
no,
firehouse. And
no.
we think it's us.
Yes.
And it just opens up. You could come back on and we could do a whole different segment just about this.
It's so good. It's
Yeah.
so good. And just having just a foundation of, you know, his wife reached out to Cody,
Oh,
you know, hey guys, why don't you just give your number or to your give your buddies, make sure your wife has your buddy's number. That's what I'm trying to say.
yeah.
Because who are they gonna call?
Yeah.
They don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know who to call. I just know something's happening. He's in trouble. Oh my gosh. And when it hits that close to home, everybody starts, you know, let's reevaluate how we're doing this and let's stop this. And, you know, it's like, and how about poor Kelly? It's like, how does she feel?
Right. Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh,
Well,
now,
and that's the thing, you know, this profession, I believe it calls in my opinion, the best of the best of society to it. And of course, you know, there's always a couple that can ruin that. But the majority, I think, are the best of the best of society being called to this, to the fire service, to the mission, whatever. But even the best of the best was never designed to carry the load that they see and deal with daily. You know, the scenes that they go on and the trauma that they experience. No human being is designed to carry all of that. And as a spouse, I'm definitely not designed to carry that. And so when my husband carries it, I feel at a loss as to how to support him beneficially, especially if I don't know about it. You know, and it's this whole thing, but I love that it's being talked about because I think that that's the
finally,
first step
yes.
to bringing awareness to it and to helping fix
Yeah.
whatever.
It's a big deal. It's what these guys, you know, they come to these conferences and they're so beat up by their departments. Half the time it's not even the calls. It's the lack of support from their department. And Cody would say, this was his line every day. He would just stand in the doorway, spread eagle, and be like, this is what I do all day at work. And they just kick me in the nuts over and over and over and over again because they don't want to hear what I have to say. They don't want to train. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that. They don't want anything, you know, and it's rejection and rejection and rejection and of who you are.
Yes.
It's not just rejection of your ideas or your belief system or your, you know, you're into training. It's like, no, they are literally rejecting every part of what makes you you. These, you know, these type A go-getters like that just want to do better. They just want to be better.
Yeah.
They want to do better. They want to be better.
Let them be badasses.
Why wouldn't they want that? Let them be badasses. I mean, I'm sorry, but if the public knew about this, they would be furious.
Yeah. Start a movement. Just let them be badasses. Let them be.
I will put that sticker on my wall.
Stickers coming soon. Maybe a t-shirt too. For those that are attending the conference, or maybe they're interested in attending the conference, what is the best place for them to find the most updated information about schedules, speakers, last minute updates, things like that?
Yep. They are killing it at Firemanship Conference at .com. They have everything there, everything's super up to date, everything that is that you could ever need. Like, I'm serious, like I was freaking out, like, oh, I don't know this and this, and they're like, it's right there, Andrea. Oh, it really is
The
right there.
one-stop shop right there.
It is. And they keep it really updated. And they're also on Instagram and Facebook, and keeping that. And of course, Cody, Blastout stuff. And I don't, I'm terrible at social media. I suck. I really,
you got a lot going on. Like you're, I mean, little black box.
Well, I'm just not, I like to be super private about things. And I know, like, when you're doing this kind of stuff, that's stupid. Like, you shouldn't.
You just
no.
lay yourself right out there on the platter.
Yeah,
I know.
no. And Cody likes to tell people what we eat for dinner. So
I might be guilty of that a time or two. So no judgment there, Cody, not from me.
Yeah, I don't need to put anything out there. They already know. If they follow me, they follow him, right?
I make it to where if you meet me for the first time in person, you know me. They're like, oh yeah, okay. So you like to go sit at the bar and have a beer with your husband and talk business every single night that he's home. Yeah, absolutely. That's me. You know me. You're my friend. Look there.
It's hard not to, right?
Hey, especially, blame it on COVID, especially since COVID.
Yeah.
Ever since COVID, just everything, all the bad habits, COVID.
Oh, we can blame so many things on COVID.
Oh, yeah. And we should, honestly, we should. You have anything else you want to add to it? I feel like we had a fantastic conversation. So much was covered. It's been fun.
Geez, I don't know. It's just, it's gonna be amazing. And if you want to hang out and with the rock star spouses, you got a lot to choose from. And get on the wait list if you're thinking about the spouse, the taking control hot spouse.
On front to the fire ground.
Hot spouse class. If you want to, it's just a kick in the pants, and we get to know each other, and that is really just the best part about this whole thing. Just my dream of playing and just like relationships, like coming together and being able to talk about our lives in a really honest way.
Yeah.
And it's not demeaning to anybody, but I mean,
it's not at the detriment to your relationship. If
we all
anything,
have
it's
the
probably
same
better.
issues. It's like, oh yeah, my husband does that, or that's my husband. And it's funny that we all married the same man.
Right. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, wow, newsflash.
But it's good. It helps us navigate these really weird waters that we're in.
Yeah, the fire life is definitely unique, and I've never been a military spouse, never been in the military. Huge respect for the military, but I think they might be the only one that can relate. Of course, their partner goes off for sometimes months and years, which I can't even fathom. But it's a very unique world that we live in, and but I married into it very, very young, and I would look back, I would not trade it for the world. I'm very blessed and honored to be a fire spouse and for what my husband does, and very thankful for our firefighters and the fire service. Yeah,
it's a pretty amazing life that we get to be a part of, and we get to do some things that a lot of other people don't get to do, and we get to see a side of life that other people don't get to see, and I mean, it can be scary, but it's also an honor.
Hmm.
So,
Absolutely.
you know, it's it's just cool,
It
but
is.
a little tough to navigate. So
Yeah.
we can do it together.
Yes, absolutely. Andrea, it was such an honor to have you on. And this conversation just really went beyond what I thought it would, which is great, because I feel like we had really, really candid, in-depth conversation. And I would love to have you back on the closer it gets. And by then, every single class is going to be sold out. The wait list is going to be full. People are going to be showing up, knocking at the door just to get in for any chance.
Oh,
That's what I want to see.
what a weird world.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Well,
That is
thank you again
awesome.
so much. I appreciate
Thanks,
it.
love. I
All right.
appreciate it. This was a
We'll see
lot
you
of fun.
soon. Bye.
Bye.